to the Martial Arts Lifestyle Podcast. This is a special edition on a book release. The book is called I Am Oum Ry, and it is about Master Oumry Ban, who is a world champion in the art of pradalserie, which is Cambodian kickboxing art. So we have Master Oumry with us. We also have the author of the book, Sochada, if I said it right. I know her as Mia anyway. She is Master Oum Ry's youngest daughter. Welcome to the podcast, guys.
Thank you for having us.
So tell us a little bit about this book. Like, how did you come about writing it?
It was actually, by the way, where should I look when I'm...
Let's look at this camera. Yeah.
Okay, look at this camera. Oh, then I should probably sit regularly. Okay. This book, it stumbled upon me by accident. My old boss I used to work for, he was writing a book about his life and his adventures. The publishing company that he had gone to had basically said, the book you have, I don't typically publish books like that, but if you have any other stories, any other more interesting stories, I'd like to hear from them. So, it was actually reversed. Usually you write the book and then you try to find a publishing company or a publisher. But in this case, the publisher came to me and said, if you write it, I'll publish it.
Wow.
That's how the story began. And we wrote we had wrote and interviewed my dad for about 2 years during COVID. It was roughly about 70 hours, and we just put it together in the book and the story.
Wow.
Yeah.
So there's some unusual things about this book. The first of which I know, because I remember when you started it, I think, or at least we're in process of it, and there was this trip to Cambodia.
Yeah.
Right? And so you haven't been to Cambodia since when?
Sir.
When was the last time you were there?
May 2004 May.
So it's been
May
18 years since, and then it was 2004 the first time you went after the war. Wow. Okay, so that's...
I also want to add, when he had gone in 2004, it was for a short wedding. He was there for a week and he just mostly stayed in the countryside too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So this was kind of the first homecoming, so to speak.
First homecoming.
Tell us a little bit about that. I think that'll be an interesting thing to talk about.
As the story naturally progressed with asking my dad, about just his life in Cambodia, actually, we're telling people that at first I had thought and assumed that he had gone to, I don't know if I want to put this in there, we're going to edit it out, but at first he was telling me and everyone else that he had gone since 1979, but then after a while I was like, actually, I went in 2004, but it was for a short wedding, but in the book we had put that he had gone in 2004. So at first we were talking about if he even wanted to add he had gone in 2004. I'm like outing myself with this stuff, but hopefully we can edit that out. Anyways, your question though was, how was it like going to my dad in Cambodia this past year? Yeah, as the story naturally progressed, it only felt natural for us to go and take my dad back to Cambodia. It only makes sense to end the story with my dad revisiting his home country. And at first, he was really reluctant. How could he not,
Right.
He actually just didn't want to go. It was a lot of me trying to convince him, and I will admit part of it was because I thought it could be this, a big way to end the story. How amazing when he taking the story off of Oum Ry back to his home country. So for a bit, I didn't think really about just if we were to go back, what could trigger, After a bit of convincing, though.
Okay, I know flying's not his thing.
He hates flying. He hates flying, but he loves airplane food. He really
Wow, okay.
Random fact about Oum Ry, he loves airplane food.
There you go. Well, it can be good, depending on, where you're sitting in that airplane.
Yeah, what airline. Yeah.
And the airline, of course.
Yeah.
So what was it like, Cambodia? Like, did they embrace him? Did they know who he was?
So one of his biggest concerns and worries was that no one would remember who he was. But when we landed, one of the airport workers recognized my dad. Wow. Yeah. So after that interaction with the airport worker, he walked out the airport all vigorous. And don't think that someone had recognized him. Yes. The airport in Bangkok.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was so random. I think they were just talking about my kickboxing and to the airport worker, and my dad goes, I am Oum Ry, which is also the title of the book. I am Oum Ry. And the worker goes, Oum Ry? The national champion from blah, 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 blah?
Wow.
And my dad's like, yeah. And this this person could have been older than 25. He was really young.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So he wasn't really alive when your dad was champion,
He
so
wasn't.
he's heard about him by reputation.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Long time.
Did you arrange for things for him to do, or was it more just kind of a spur of the moment?
Yeah, the trip itself was pretty spontaneous. We didn't have much planned. We didn't have anything. We didn't know what was going to be in store for us. Also, you know, with Cambodia being a developing nation, everything was by word of mouth. Everything was contacting him by Facebook. So I guess when we landed, a lot of people that already knew Oumry was coming, but there was no way to contact him. I went through his phone and I'm seeing like 50 plus requested messages on his Facebook, and it's a bunch of Cambodian people saying, "Oumry, are you here? I'm here in the country." And he doesn't, you know, my dad doesn't know how to use Facebook. He knows it's true. And it's a bunch of news reporters and government officials contacting my dad, but through Facebook Messenger, which I wouldn't really think, oh, you know, news reporters are reaching out to my dad by Facebook Messenger and all the other important government officials.
Right, yeah, it's not what you consider the official lines of communication,
Sure.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. Just like how I didn't realize they don't really use email there, everything's on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Everything's on Facebook.
That's interesting. So did you get a chance to teach? Did any of the schools have you come in and teach or demonstrate anything?
Yes, in there. Yeah, I got demonstration and teaching some gym at the Phnom Penh City and at the Siem Reap province, Angkor Wat.
Wow, Angkor Wat.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. That's going right back to the history of where this all came from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, when we went to Siem Reap to visit Angkor Wat, I didn't know that it was my dad's first time visiting Angkor Wat.
Oh, wow.
Right, Pa? It was your first time?
Yes.
I'm in Oumry Ban. How did you feel visiting Angkor
I
Wat?
feel very incredible in there because I miss a long time, and I will see all the students there. They don't know who Oumry, only name.
Oh,
But
wow.
now they see me, so I teaching him how I am training at the United States of America, and I go back over there. They will be surprised. Okay, I'm show him how different technique, you know, and how I am training for United States of American student.
Wow. Was there a lot of kickboxing schools there?
Oh,
Oumry
yes.
schools?
Yes.
There's a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
And how was their art, say, compared to yours? Because, I mean, there's no question of your authenticity because you're kind of before the whole Khmer Rouge era. And I know a lot of those people were killed off in that time period, so, you know, not a lot of people left to carry it on. So did you find their abilities there and their quality very good?
គាត់ចង់សួរប្រដៅស្រីនៅស្រុកខ្មែរហើយប្រដៅស្រីបាបរៀននៅអាមេរិកខុសមិនដែរ
Help me, yes.
Okay.
Because
What's so now?
in Cambodia, it's the same style, the same fight, you know, same, you know, like exhibit or fighting, still the same technique. But come here, it's different. Different why? Because we include like big martial art, and we take like different technique from like taekwondo, from Jeet Kune Do. We combine that, but like Padal Sere, still the same Padal Sere, you know, the same style, same eyeball knee, cling, everything. But when I come here, something different. But I like create the new technique, like combine with Khmer boxing, like Padal Sere, and some technique from like Jeet Kune Do, yeah, or something, the good technique including. So we have something more better. And the old students there, they surprised about my technique. You know, I show them like the best technique of the American place. Yes.
Was there a big reception? Like, did the government want to do something with him, like as far as like a promotional or award or any kind of recognition?
គាត់ចង់សួរ government official គេ invite យើងទៅមើលគេ Bible
Yeah, fair point. Yeah.
Quạt nó bên tay. Chụp quạt.
Quạt khiêu khai nghĩa.
Or my dad was on a lot of news channels in Cambodia, and then a bunch of government officials contacted him. We actually had gone to the Ministry of Sport in Cambodia. It was this huge and insane building, just a bunch of government officials there, and they had invited us and my dad to go check out a live Radasare performance, and he was sitting front row. It was really beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was all on live TV. I mean, it was really opulent, the whole thing. He was sitting in a big red chair, and I'll have to show you a bunch of photos. It was a really insane experience. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you get to meet the current champions?
He did. Quatso, current champion, Jupa, Sokmai.
Yes, I got a picture from all the champions in Cambodia. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to show you.
With the
It's a really
governor.
beautiful
Yeah.
photo.
I bet you they were thrilled to meet you.
Yeah. I think there were maybe 8 of them, and my dad standing in the middle. It's a really beautiful photo.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, do you think you'll go back anytime soon to Cambodia?
Yes, I want. I want to be back. Yeah. I want. Yeah.
Do you think they'll bring you back to teach maybe some seminars or workshops or anything
Only
like that?
so or teaching is really bad. I will be seminar in there.
Oh, that's phenomenal. Well, we'll definitely put that information out, for people to know. It sounds like something I'll want to take a vacation to go.
Yeah, I told them about the book. They come out this year because we got from long time, like 2020. But the COVID come in, so we prolong to 2023. So, and because of I am Oum Ry, I am very survive more than the people in Cambodia all survive. But only one time, for most people, it's something survive only one time, he die or something no more. I am 4 times in my life.
Wow.
In Khmer Rouge, they want to kill me, but I escaped. In 1979, they accused I am with Khmer like Serega, the freedom border. Yeah, they accuse I am done, but they want to arrest me, but I escaped from Vietnam to Khmer Sere, freedom, the border freedom, for over there. They accuse I am KCB of Vietnam.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I escaped from them to the border, the camp of Khmer Sere,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And they accuse
Yeah,
you of being
the Khmer Sere
a secret
accuse
police
I am-
of
yeah.
Vietnam.
Yeah.
Okay.
Vietnam say I am Khmer Sere, freedom fighting, and when I escaped from Cambodia to the border say I am work with Vietnam.
Oh,
So they arrest me 3 days. They want to kill me.
wow.
Yeah. And after that, I stay with Khmer Sere 1 year and come back to United Nations in Thailand. And I get the name and come back to America.
Wow.
I think I am here in America. I am look like I stay in heaven, Yeah. But 2006, the gang member they killed me again in Long Beach.
Wow.
That's the 4th time. Yeah. 1976 with Khmer Rouge, 1979 with Vietnam, and go back to Sereka to 1979 same, and I go back to America 2006. Yeah, the gang member they want to kill me too.
And that was here in Long Beach.
Yeah.
But now I still alive.
Yeah. You're like a cat,
Yeah.
many lives.
Yes. Sir. Yeah.
And you're talking about all this in the book.
We talk about
Yes, I talk
and
inside
lots
the book.
more.
Yeah.
And lots more. Yeah, well, you were telling me that the other day. So give us a little idea of what this
the book
book's about.
they,
Yeah.
they talk about that, but in the book but we told the people about my survive too much time. Yes, sir.
I mean, not only is it a story about my dad, but I think it also, you get an insight of what it's like to be the daughter, or specifically the youngest daughter of Oumry Ban. And we also get into the drama. I mean, I kind of...
So it's like two biographies. So we got Oumry's biography and your biography.
I mean, it talks about my dad's promiscuously debauched days in Cambodia, here.
I go down there, I meet my son.
You're like a rock star.
Yeah.
He's basically the kickboxing rock star of Cambodia.
Wow.
He still is. Again, read the book more.
In Cambodia, they say, oh, Oumry, you still here? You still alive? I guess. Oh, somebody say you die in the purple. I say, no, I am in Long Beach. Yeah.
Well, that's great. So, did you know most of these things when you started interviewing? Were there a lot of surprises for you?
I think about 85% of everything in the book was a surprise to me.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean,
That's a lot.
I've really internalized everything, but I realized I think if this book hadn't been presented to me, I'm not sure when I would ask my dad about his experience of surviving my illusion. For a long time, I felt a degree of shame, just because I had never really bothered on asking my dad. I've heard bits and pieces here and there with my dad telling, Master Ron or telling other people, so I would just hear it when he would tell other people, but never have I really sat down and asked my dad. A big part of it was also because, one, I was afraid that I would trigger something with my dad, so I didn't want him to relive his experiences. And number two, I felt embarrassed of never asking my dad about his, because for a long time our parents are more than just our parents. My dad is more than just being a dad. He's also Oumry, who has lived an insane life. Most of the story came as a surprise. In fact, 85%, like I said, a lot of it.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I was expecting some of it might be, but not that much.
Most of it. So the way it was set up is me, my co-author, and my dad sitting there. We interviewed him, but most of the time it'd be my co-author asking the question to my dad. And my dad wouldn't really look at me when he answered these questions. He'd look more so at my co-author. Whether it was him talking about his fighting days or surviving the war, or even talking about family drama this word might be recurring, but promiscuous. I think he felt a bit embarrassed to look at me, or it was just too vulnerable. It was just too vulnerable of a story to tell me his daughter directly. So when I or my father would ask the question, my dad would just look mostly at my co-author.
Yeah.
Now, I have a feeling that I think this project made you guys grow closer.
200%.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Value a lot.
Yes, I feel, I'm feeling good when I'm here. When I stay in Cambodia, I'm very famous in there. But when I come to United States, I'm not famous. I'm not rich, But I got the gym.
Right.
Yeah, I got my student. I got like little kid, teenager, adult people, and I got my police officer to the gang in that one son, and so I am so happy when I am here. Right now, I am here. I'm happy.
So we also, in sort of coordination with the book release today, you have an anniversary of your gym coming up, which is how many years?
35th anniversary.
35 years.
Yeah. This is a 35th anniversary of Long Beach Kickboxing.
So this very spot we're sitting in, you've been in for 35 years.
Next would be the 36th year.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And I think from history, I think you are one of, probably if not the first, Southeast Asian kickboxing gym in the Los Angeles area.
That's correct. We have a few certificates for that.
Wow.
Actually.
That's
We
incredible.
the first series of Muay Thai in America.
Oh, wow.
The first gym, the first series of Muay Thai of America.
Wow.
Yes. I start no Muay Thai, no series. I am the first. And the Thai of Hollywood is after my gym.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
So that brings up sort of an interesting topic, and I think you said you covered that in the book a little bit, the differences between Pradal-Serai and Muay Thai.
Yes. And another thing that I'm afraid that it could start a bit of a war.
Yeah, well, we're not looking to start a culture war here, but but I think people would look at the Pradal-Serai and they go, "Oh, that's Muay Thai," and you go, "Yes, it's from the same part of the world, but there are differences." And you do go into that in the book.
Yeah.
That's great. So I'll let you say something on that, but we're not starting culture wars.
I'm really not.
Sure, so.
What trong số Muay Thai hay Pradal-Serai không thiên được ai?
Muay Thai and Pradal-Serai like the fight the same thing, but like Khmer, most eyeball. Yeah, knee, eyeball, but Thai most kick. So the technique, sometimes Khmer beat Thai people, sometimes Thai people beat Khmer. But now, Pradal-Serai very famous in the world because they beat the champion in Thailand.
Oh.
Yeah, very like last week.
Okay, so they're competing in Thailand.
You see that?
I have not, and I'm going to go look it up now that you bring it up. So for you, the big difference is the use of the elbow, and I believe you were kind of known as king of the elbow in the day.
Yeah, his nickname pa Chakung Luon.
Chakung Ho.
Chakung Ho.
Yeah. And that translates as.
Chakung Ho. What does that mean in Anglais? Chakung Ho. Anglais cái thằng này. Automatic knee.
Flying knee.
Flying knee.
Flying knee.
Flying knee.
Oh wow.
Specialty was where his knees and elbows.
No, I get the people they give me like chụp cung tip. Chụp cung tip nó like automatic knee, like a piston car.
Oh, okay, okay.
It's how fast and automatic.
Yeah.
Wow. Like a V8 engine, just bang, bang, bang. Yeah.
When I hold them, you want to know how.
Wow. So what percentage would you say of your knockouts were from elbow and knee?
Too many, like too many.
And you had your fight record was 300.
309.
309, and you won.
Draw and lose 39, but I win 270.
270. Wow. And how many knocked out?
Oh. Too many.
Too many to count.
Yeah, between 15 years. Yeah. 1961 to 1975.
Oh, 1960. So it's about a 15-year career. Yeah, that's really phenomenal.
Yeah.
He's still here, teaching a great group down here at the Long Beach Kickboxing Center. So he's down here on Anaheim in Long Beach. He's been here for 35 years and going strong. It's a good place to come down and train. If you guys want to check it out, we'll put all the information kind of down on the screen there for you to check out. And you've got, how many champions you've trained? I know there's on the wall here.
Between from 90 to right now we got 16 champions.
16 champions.
Yes.
So just out of this place, 16 champions. And
yeah, you got Cambodian, you got Mexican champion and American champion. I say so thank you to Ron Smith and Darby. He helped me a long time. Yeah.
So giving a heads up to
stay with me.
the other coaches they have down there. So you've got a really good staff. They got a really great staff of coaches down here that train.
Always with me, I love them. So thank you to him. Yeah, I see him most every day. Between like 32 years.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's a long time. That's longer than some of these kids have been alive.
Yeah. I train students until now. I train my grand student because
oh wow,
they bring you
the children of your students.
Yeah. My student bring his son or his daughter come and train with me. It's a long time.
What's it like to train your daughter here?
Oh, I train her. She like from she 8 years old. Now she 22. So long time. Yeah, but she's smart. She's smart. She not ask me about it. She watching like me before. I'm never asked to something like the all fighter and ask him like this. I don't know. I am, looking to him how he do. I'm copy them. How he do like this, do like that, and I am create in my training by myself some technique from any martial art, and I mix it, combine the good technique I keep that. There's something no good, that.
And that kind of fits with the name. Pradal sort of translates as a free fighting style, right?
Yeah.
A free
But
fighting.
freestyle,
Yeah.
like Kun Khmer Pradal Sere. The name Kun Khmer. Kun Khmer, this like the martial art of Khmer. So Kun Khmer and Pradal Sere. Like Kun Khmer, the Bokatao.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, the Kun Khmer Pradal Sere. The mean like Kun Khmer, this the man of the martial art, the Cambodian martial art. Yes.
And you pretty much grew up here at the gym. It's been here 35 years and you're not that old.
Yeah, I took my first literal steps here. I mean, I'm always joking to you and everyone else, but I'm immune to all diseases because as a...
Oh, yeah, because you crawled on the turning
I
floor.
crawled on these dirty floors. Yeah.
Yeah, she always see me when she down, but she got like 8 years old. She only sit down, see me. She never asked me like that. And when I like a demonstration to somewhere, I bring her, I teach her how kun crew, why crew, yeah, and everything technique a little bit, and it's, yeah, she's smart into it. She kick good like Thai people. Yeah, I'm not so good kick, but I'm do everything. But she good kick. Now she know everything.
I've seen, and I'm afraid to hold for it. I've watched her unload a couple kicks before.
Yeah. Now she go back to MMA training with somewhere. But she not told me, but after that, say, oh, I just came back from MMA gym. Yeah, I said, okay, you want it? Go ahead.
I want to add on to this. I want to add on to this. For the longest time, I wanted to venture out into other martial arts or not martial arts. I also wanted to do gymnastics. He'd say, "Why? You have a gym here. Practice, doing the splits here. And, this is also a gymnastics gym." So for the longest time, I honestly, I was a bit sneaky where I would try to train with other gyms just because I was so curious about other forms of martial art, but for the longest time, he wouldn't allow it. For the past year, going to Guru's gym and other academies, I've gotten his blessing to other gyms. For the longest time, I guess it was a bit of territorial, but your mind, I taught you everything.
Sure.
So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Well, I mean, you've got a phenomenal foundation with this, of course, and a bright future with it, because I think as it's getting more popular in the world, as Cambodia is opening up, and I think the martial art world's always interested in finding new things that have kind of maybe some unusual traits or even exotic, if we want to say that, traits to them. So I think you're in a good position to take this out into the world a little more, and you've got the man here.
He's the best teacher. I remember as a kid, for the longest time I really wanted to fight. I really wanted to compete, but a big part of it was because I wanted to be rebellious. I wanted to do the opposite, just like most humans.
Right.
If you tell me to not do something, I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. So I really wanted to fight earlier in my teen years, and I would train really hard. He pushed me so hard to the point where I'd cry in the ring while being trained by him, when Ron would pull pads for me or help me out. He pushed me until I'd cry. And I don't experience that anymore. Now whenever I'm training myself, he just gives me a nod. And I know that's not good. Well, doesn't say anything, doesn't correct me, just nods and gives me a thumbs up and just a simple bow. That's when I'm like, I must be doing a pretty good job.
And your relationship's grown up, basically. Yeah, you're transitioning into that where you're a kid relationship with your parents and when you're an adult relationship with your parents.
Yeah. I do think he'll always see me as maybe the 8-year-old.
Of course. Well, is there anything else you can tell us about the book?
So technically the book is supposed to be out today.
The book is out today. I'm hoping that it's going to be in the mail when I get home.
Hopefully. I don't think so though. There's another backup because we're sold out.
Oh, wow.
Pre-orders.
Well, I pre-ordered way a long time ago, so
Yeah.
hopefully I was high on that list.
Hopefully you get that soon.
Where can they buy it? Let's tell them that.
You guys can buy it from most corporate chains, Target, Barnes & Nobles, Walmart.
So it is out in bookstores.
Not yet. I just contacted my... It's not out yet. There's another backup. So I'll have to keep you more updated and informed. But also...
But Amazon, right? That's where I pre-ordered, yeah.
You can get on Amazon, your local bookstore. I also didn't know, but it's also being sold in other countries.
Oh, wow.
My best friend just texted me in Korea and Japan, and they're like, hey, I looked up Am Oum Ry and I can get it at the local bookstore right here. They live in Korea, Japan.
That's amazing. That's great.
Really surreal. Yeah.
So you're going to be a worldwide sensation here again before you know it.
Maybe fancy, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Well, I thank you guys for taking the time to sit and talk with me today.
Thank you very much.
And absolutely. And we'll get some information about the book up on the screen there so you guys can order it. And we'll get information about the gym too. So hopefully you'll maybe see some new faces down here. And I look forward to your 35th anniversary coming up here in February. We'll do a little coverage on there. And we look forward to training with you many, many, many more years as well.
79 pretty soon.
79? Wow.
On May, I got 79.
Amazing.
I want to stay to 80, 85, something. Maybe.
Probably even more.
I don't know.
You guys keep raising the bar between you and Guru Dan and Asante. You guys keep raising the bar. It's like, well, clearly I can't stop when I'm 80s. Got to keep going because they're still training every day. Do you still get out and run every day and all that too?
Oh yeah.
He's more fit than I am. He runs more miles than I do. He runs, I think, 2 miles every time he runs.
Sometimes I would go running in the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2-3 miles. Yeah, like when I don't teaching the kid, I go running. Yeah, sometimes like yesterday, like today I go back running.
Wow.
And the kid, the program for the kid, I can go down there. Yeah. Like 3 or 4 days a week. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, always go run. Yeah.
So just in case you guys didn't catch that, there's a kids program here. So if you have some kids in the Long Beach area and you're looking to get some great training, especially with a legendary champion, this is the place to come. They have a great kids program. You train everyone from little kids up to senior citizens. Exactly. And he's an expert trainer at all of them.
Yeah, and the old people like you know like 79, 69 training. Yeah, we train little kid, different teenager, and different adult people, and different for the old people. You know how the training.
And I know I think you guys touch on that in the book a little bit too, how you affected youths in this area to keep them out of gangs in the Long Beach area with the training. So
we also talk a lot about gang culture in Long Beach. It's something that it's a big part of the book, gang culture and having, policemen training here while also having, people that are in gangs training together, having solidarity. So
definitely get out and get this book. There's a lot in there. It sounds like it's a real treat, not only history of these two fine people, but of the area and history of Cambodia and all kinds of amazing things. I'm looking forward to, I'm probably going to sit down and just read this whole thing in a day or two. Turn off my phone and get right into it. All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for spending the time with us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, everyone.